Now for today, we're going to be looking at similar figures. So here, similar figures basically means they have the same shape. One of them can be bigger than the other one. Okay, so similar figures. Now here, I'm gonna need two numbers or two sides per figure. When sides are similar, I mean sides are proportional. We talk about proportions when two fractions are equal to each other. So here, number 15, it says find the missing side. There's one side that is called x. I'm gonna figure that side. From the small figure, I'm going to use the measurements 7 and x. So let me make a fraction out of that, 7 over x. Now, which one comes on top, the 7 or the x? It does not matter. Just make a fraction out of it. Now, 7, this 7 on the small figure is corresponding to this 49 on the big figure. So 7 is going to go with 49. And then x, this side, it's corresponding with 42. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm just gonna cross multiply. We learn that when two fractions are equal to each other, I'm just gonna cross multiply. So I get 49x equals, now the 49x, because I just went 49 times x, okay? So 49x equals, on the other side, I'm gonna go 7 times 42. Right, it's right here, 7 times 42. That's 294. So I have the 49 times x is equal to 294. To get x by itself, let me divide both sides by the number in front of x, so in this case 49. Now 294 divided by 49, it's equal to 6. So the missing side is 6. Now some of you might be wondering, why was 10 and 70 not used? Because I only needed two sides per figure. Right? Instead of 7 and 49, remember I used that 7 was corresponding to 49, I could have used 10 and 70. I only need two sides per figure. So let's take a look at number 16. I'm going to choose this x because I have to solve for x, and this 99. So I'm going to write x over 99. Right, I'm going to make a fraction. Whether the x comes on top or the bottom, it doesn't matter. X is corresponding on the other figure with 6. So next to the x, I'm going to write a 6. 99 is corresponding with 11. So next to the 99, I'm going to write 11. And then I'm just going to cross multiply. 11 times x is equal to 99 times 6, which is 594. Now let me divide both sides by the number in front of x. 594 divided by 11 happens to be 54. Then we can do figures like this. Now, here in this figures, you don't know if I flipped one of my triangles. What if my triangle goes like this? Or what if it goes like this? You don't know if I flipped it or not. So I'm just going to do what I want to do. I'm solving for a side. And here it says solve for k. So I'm going to use the sides k and 40. So I'm going to make my fraction k and 40. Now what is k corresponding to? Does k go with 3, goes with 8, or goes with 10? Okay, now want you to pay attention to something really quick. My k is made by the letters v and t. We're going to call that the side vt. If you notice on my triangle here, tuv, but I want to keep the letters vt. So shouldn't I cancel the letter in the middle? So my other triangle, let me cancel the letter in the middle, and I get QS. That is this side. So K goes with 3, and then 40. Let me use this notation again. 40 is the side VU. Let me show you why I said it's VU. 40 is this side. The letters, notice I connected from V to U. So that means I have to cross out the first letter. On the other triangle, let me cancel the first letter, so that gives me RS. That is this one. So 40 goes with 10. Now, why did I do that notation? Right? If you knew that K went with 3 and 40 went with 10, well, awesome, you already knew. I used the notation in case you couldn't tell. Sometimes we're not going to be able to tell, so I'm going to add those letters there to tell you those sides are corresponding. So for you to know what goes with what. All right, now let me solve for K. Once I have two fractions equal each other, it's not too hard. Let me cross multiply. I get that 10K is equal to 120. All right, I went 10 times K equals 40 times 3. So that's how I got 10K is equal to 120. Let me divide both sides by 10, and we're going to get that K is equal to 12. My instructions were solve for K. Well, K is equal to 12. Now here, I have to solve for Z. Okay, so I see one small triangle here. You guys see that? I'm going to use the sides 9 and Z. So let me write that 9 and Z. I'm going to use a fraction out of that. You guys see that 9 is the height, so the information that goes up and down. And then the Z is the information that is at the bottom. Okay. Now I see another triangle here. And I'm going to say the height is 10. So 9 is going to go with 10. And then at the bottom, I have Z plus 5. Notice at the bottom, I have Z and 5 combined. So isn't that plus? So Z plus 5. And then my instructions here says solve for Z. Okay. Let me cross multiply it. When I go here, I'm going to go the easy route first. 10 times Z, that's 10Z. We learned this other way that when we cross multiply and there's a plus or minus there, the number by itself, I'm going to multiply it to both terms on the other side. I'm going to go 9 times Z and 9 times 5. So that's going to give me 9Z plus 45. Okay, so I see my equal sign. I want my letters together. So let me move this 9Z to this other side as a minus. Don't forget to switch the sign. So I'm going to move letters to one side, numbers to the other. On the left side, 10 minus 9, right? 10Z minus 9Z is 1Z. On the other side, I have just a 45. If I had a number in front of Z, divide both sides by that number. But in this case, I found out that Z is equal to 45. Cool. There you go.